You're listening to the Mastering Money in Midlife podcast, episode 3, Money Making Beliefs.
Welcome to Mastering Money in Midlife, a podcast for midlife women in business to overcome financial anxiety and make more money without burning out or sacrificing their families. Join certified life and money coach Debbie Sasson as she shares practical business strategies and mindset shifts that help you dissolve the money blocks that keep you stuck in a cycle of under-earning and under-saving, sabotage the growth of your business, and prevent you from building the wealth that you desire.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 3. It's hard to believe that I'm already 3 episodes in, but I am. It's so much fun. It's December 1st, and I'm really looking forward to December because my dad and stepmom are flying from Los Angeles to Israel, and they're coming to visit me. Yay! It's been 2.5 years since I hugged my daddy, and I'm a daddy's little girl. And this corona has really cramped my style, let's say, in terms of visiting my family and being connected. Of course, we have Zoom and we have the phone and whatever else, but it's not the same as a daddy's little girl getting a bear hug from her daddy. And I just want to explain one little thing about the terminology that I use around my dad and stepmom. I actually call them my parents. I have a mom. She actually passed away nearly 8 years ago, but I always refer to them as my mom and my parents, which is confusing for some people. But I never liked the term stepmom. It kind of has that Cinderella, wicked stepmom feel to it. And my dad's wife just seems so distant, very far away. And we've always had a great relationship. And Diane has been in my life for more than 40 years. And my dad and stepmom are my parents. And so if you ever hear me talking about them, don't be confused. I don't know why you would be, unless I just confused you. But now you know. That's who's coming. And I am so excited. Yay! One of the most important money-making lessons that I learned was actually from my dad, which is why I had to talk about him today, because my dad was laid off. He was made redundant. He was fired when he was in his late 30s, and he built his own business. He went back to school and got an MBA. I remember him graduating, and we were all so proud of my dad when he got his MBA. And he built a big, beautiful, thriving business. And like most businesses, it went through its evolution and iteration. And we saw some interesting ideas and failures along the way, which we don't need to talk about. Something to do with watches. If he's listening, he might have a good laugh about that. But what I learned from my dad is that you can start something new and something fresh. He actually was working for his father-in-law, my mom's dad. But as happens when divorces happen, relationships can get kind of sticky. So he found himself unemployed and he took his great contacts. He's always been a people person. He took his strength and his resilience and he created something new. And he sold his successful business 3 years ago at the age of 80. And you know what? Maybe one day I'll even have my dad on the podcast. I'll interview him and he'll be able to share his money-making ideas and beliefs, his tips and tricks with us, and we can all enjoy his wisdom. But for today, I'm going to share what I know about making money with you. And that is that any negative things you're thinking about money and business are going to absolutely slow you down and sabotage your money-making and your business growth. They absolutely will. Thinking negative thoughts about yourself, like you're not worthy, you don't have anything to offer, you're not good enough, or thinking negative thoughts about your business, it's not growing fast enough, it should be growing faster, or thinking about money, that money is icky, it's evil, that rich people are greedy, that for sure is going to slow you down, maybe even stop the flow of money to you. Or if you're having negative thoughts about your clients, the people in your network, the folks on your email list, or even negative thoughts about social media, those are all self-sabotaging thoughts, and they're going to keep you small and safe, stuck, growing slowly, and they might even keep you broke. And those thoughts can be very sneaky. They might be showing up as, oh, I really should be more responsible with my money, or I'm doing something wrong. You might be thinking, I'm not meant to be successful. Everybody else can be successful, but I'm not. It hasn't worked so far, so I just know I'm not meant to be successful. Or you might be thinking, I haven't signed a client in, I don't know, fill in the blank, a month, 2 months, 3 months. Y'all, these are crappy thoughts. And when they sneak up on you, and if you find yourself face down in a package of potato chips, or you're eating ice cream and watching Netflix, you got to wrangle in your thoughts and you've got to do some thinking on purpose. And I want to make today's episode very actionable for you. So I'm going to share 5 money-making thoughts that you can think today. Number 1, I have something valuable to offer. Now, this is always true whether you're in business or not, because you can call somebody up on the phone and say hello to them, brighten up their day, make them smile, and that's for sure something valuable. You can bake a batch of cookies. Your kids might come home from school and wonder what's going on in the middle of the day. It's smelling like delicious cookies. You might even offer some to your neighbor and brighten her day. And that's going to be valuable because you're going to share your goodness and your sweetness and make somebody's day happy. If you're in business, you've got to remember the value that you are offering by selling the thing that you are selling. And it doesn't matter if you're in content writing, or you're a coach, or you're a photographer, or you're in personal styling. Whatever you're doing is helping somebody make their life better. You might be moving them towards more joy and happiness and pleasure in their life. You might be helping to bring them out of pain. Like if you're a doctor, people come to you when they're in pain, and you are very, very valuable. Even if they're taking medicine that doesn't taste very good, right? Like that is valuable because it's going to take them out of pain and bring them to health and happiness. So whatever you are doing in your business, you have to believe on purpose that what you are selling is valuable. And even if you don't have as many skills as somebody else, even if you're thinking you need another certification so you could be better, today, whatever you have is enough. You are valuable today, and you've got to go out into the world selling that thing that you're offering and believe truly down into your tippy toes that it is valuable. All right. And the second thing, that second money-making belief that you can believe on purpose is that people want what you are offering. And this is true whether you've sold 100 things or 1,000, or whether you haven't even sold your first package, client, thingamajiggy yet. And I like to think of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. She wrote this manuscript. She really believed hard in the value of what she was offering, and she went knocking on door after door after door, publisher after publisher after publisher. She went to 12 publishers who all said no. She kept believing hard in the value of her book. And the 13th publisher said yes. And we all know the rest of the story. 7 books later, a movie, a theme park. Harry Potter changed the lives of readers all over the globe. And of course, it changed the life for J.K. Rowling. I also like to think of Sara Blakely, the billionaire founder of Spanx Shapewear for Women. She also believed hard in the value of what she was creating. She was busy selling fax machines door to door, and in the evenings, she was designing, and she even was getting her own trademark on her Spanx shapewear. And she had to find a manufacturer to produce her shapewear, and she knocked on door after door for hosiery mills, and many of them said no until she finally found the hosiery mill that was willing to manufacture her products. She didn't give up. She knew that she had a beautiful money-making idea, and she went all the way. And of course, so many women around the globe are buying Spanx shapewear, and Sara Blakely has really changed the trajectory for the people in her business. She just sold part of her business and gifted all of her employees a $10,000 cash gift and 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world. So not only is she taking good care of her employees, she's also helping women all over the world. So again, even if you haven't sold one thing yet in your business, your people are out there. There are 7 billion people in the world, and there's no way that you've tapped into all of them yet. So keep believing your people want what you have to offer, and your job is to go out and find them. All right, money-making belief number 3. You're allowed to ask for money, right? That's a really explosive idea that you're allowed to. But sometimes your brain might have a pushback to this thought that you can ask for money. And it's going to show up in 2 sneaky ways. The first one is thinking that selling is sleazy. And people say this all the time, especially women. That's what I've witnessed in the Facebook groups where I hang out, right? Because they're imagining a used car salesman or some other sleazy salesperson who's trying to fast talk you and ram something down your throat. And it brings up all of this like icky angst stuff, right? Because you're not that kind of person and you're not going to be fast talking anybody. But when you are really, really believing that you have something amazing and people want what you have to offer and you're helping their life, you're changing it and you're moving them from pain to pleasure somewhere along that spectrum, right? The best way for you to do that is to go out and sell what you are selling. When people pay for things, they value them even more. Here's actually a bonus thought that you can have, and that is when people pay, they pay attention. And when they pay more attention. We don't value freebies very much. Like if you can imagine yourself in the supermarket, sometimes different companies set up tables and they offer you a free taste of this new product that they're developing. And you walk by, you're hungry, you pick it up, you taste it. You're like, okay, that was good. Most of the time, you don't rush to the refrigerator section or the freezer section and buy what they're selling. Or maybe you bought some makeup, some moisturizer, and they give you also a little freebie, one of those little packages where you have like a one-time use of the moisturizer. Either you put it into the drawer or you use it and then you throw it away and you forget about it. It doesn't change your life in any big, meaningful way. But if there's something that you want and you go and you spend money on it, you invest your time and your energy going after the thing and bringing it into your life, you're going to value and appreciate it more. That's you as a consumer. Now, you as a seller, as a business owner, you have to believe that people want to pay you money and you're allowed to ask them to pay you. The second way you might be having some pushback from your brain is, and this especially shows up for people who are in helping professions, therapists, healers, coaches, right? You want what you're offering to be affordable. You want it to be accessible to a lot of people, as many people as possible. So you keep your prices low and you don't want to ask for money. You're sort of thinking you should give away your stuff for free, right? But that's also going to hold you back. Because when people pay money, as I said, and they get the help that they want, they value it even more. And if you're not selling your stuff, you're not selling your services, people are not going to get the transformation that they're after. In fact, if you're giving away too much of what you're offering, you can end up burnt out. You could end up resenting people. You might end up changing what you're doing altogether and moving into something else. What I like to think about making money is that the more money I make, the more people I help, the more people I get to help. And this is really true because I help my clients. And when I make money, we always donate. Giving 10% at least of our income is a non-negotiable value for us. It's part of our religious beliefs. It's part of our value system. And when I make more money, I'm giving away money to the people who really need it. and to the organizations and institutions who really need my money. So the more money I make, the more money I pass on to people who can benefit so much from my donations. And the third way that I get to help more people when I make more money is I buy things with my money. I become a conduit for money. I go to the supermarket and I pass money on. I buy clothing. I buy shoes. I buy education for my children. I buy gifts for people. I pay for electricity. I pay for water. There are so many ways that I pass money on. And the more money I make, the more money that I get to pass on. And in all of those different ways, I am leaving money in the hands of other people. And that's amazing because the money just keeps circulating around and around, which really leads into another belief about money that you get to believe is that there is an unlimited supply of money in the world, right? I believe that there is more than enough. There is an inexhaustible supply of money. We live in an abundant world. Just look around at the abundance of people, the abundance of cars, the abundance of trees, different kinds of trees and flowers and colors, and the oceans and all the different kinds of fish that there are in the ocean. And look up at the heavens and look at all the stars. The Creator who created this world is infinite. He's unlimited, and He has all the money, and He can give you all the money that you ask for and that you desire. He has no limits, so you don't have to limit yourself. And if you're believing that God, I like to call Him God, you might be calling Him Source, Universe, spiritual power, whatever it is. But I believe that God wants me to succeed. He wants to shower me with His goodness and His blessings. And to think otherwise would be an error of thought, right? Like if I was thinking that God wants to trip me up, that He doesn't love me, that He doesn't want me to share what He's given me, right? He's given me this intuition and this skills and this resources. For me to believe that He doesn't want me to be successful, that He doesn't want to give me money, that wouldn't be serving me in any way, shape, or form. All right, and the money-making belief, number 5, that you get to believe is that it's safe for you to have money. Now, you might have a money story like I do, that you've made mistakes. But if that money mistake is holding you back, you're thinking you're not good with money, you're bad with money, you're not good with numbers, like you don't need calculus in order to make money in your business. Even if you never succeeded in high school math, if you know how to add and subtract, you know enough about money. Multiplication and division also help. None of us were born into this world with money skills. We came into the world blank slates. We talked about this in the last episode of the podcast. You have some skills that maybe you haven't mastered yet. That's why you're here in this podcast. But if you're worried that because you've been bad in the past or not so good with your money in the past, you're not allowed to have money now, that's going to hold you back. So you have to direct your mind to thinking, okay, there's some skills that I haven't learned yet. Isn't that amazing? There's more life to live. There are things about money and about numbers and about math that I get to brush up on as I grow my business and I serve the world. Or you might be thinking that it's not safe to have money because your family members are going to come and ask you for money. And I definitely had clients who had this situation and they were worried about their cousin, their brother, their mom, their dad. Someone was going to come and ask them for money if they found out that they had more. But here's the thing. You get to pass some of the money on to help people. Just like I said, I love to donate 10% at least of my money. And if you have more money, you might also decide for you, it makes sense. You want to be able to pass some money on. Maybe it's to your family members. Maybe you want to make a donation. You also get to put boundaries around your money. Just because you have more money doesn't mean you have to give it all away. You're allowed to say no. And one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to put boundaries around how much money you're allowed to have and how much money you want to give. And when you do that, it will feel so much more safe for you to have more money. And another way that people feel like it's not safe for them to have more money is if once upon a time they were hanging out with a crowd who was talking bad about money. Maybe they were more idealistic, they wanted to live off the grid, or they were anti-capitalist and they were just talking about the man. You might have been thinking once upon a time that it wasn't spiritual to have money. You didn't want to be materialistic. If you had some thoughts last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you had a network of people that you were connected with, and having money was something bad for that group, something negative, something evil, but you've evolved and changed and you have different thoughts about money today, it can feel really uncomfortable in your body when you're thinking about those people. You might be imagining that they're judging you for asking for money, for having a business, for showing up in a big way. They might be calling you a capitalist, a sellout. It's okay. You can feel that discomfort in your body. It might even be a little bit of you looking at yourself and judging yourself a little bit for changing the way you behaved, and you're not 100% sold yet on it. And that's okay. You get to work on believing that it's safe to have money, that nothing bad happens to people who have more money. And we have a lot of evidence looking out into the world. You just have to pick your people. Look at that beautiful example of Sarah Blakely, who sold part of her company and took such amazing care of the employees at Spanx. I mean, I wish I'd been working there. $10,000 cash gift and 2 airplane tickets, first class to wherever I wanted in the world. Like, just wow. When you have more money, you get to do so much good in the world. So let me recap those 5 money-making beliefs that you can start thinking on purpose. Number 1, you have something valuable to offer. And that's really the basis for everything. If you're not believing and selling yourself really, really hard on what you are offering the world, it's going to be hard to sell it to other people. So start at the beginning. Number 2, believe that people want what you're offering and they want to pay you money for it. Number 3, you're allowed to ask people to pay you money. Number 4, we live in an abundant world created by an infinite creator. There is absolutely no limit to how much he can give you, and he wants to give it to you. And number 5, it's safe to have money. Take those sentences, write them down in your journal every day, print them out from the show notes and read them every day. Spend some time thinking money-making beliefs. There's absolutely no downside. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is that you're in exactly the same place you are right now. That doesn't sound so bad to me. But the best thing that could happen is that you start believing new money-making beliefs and you watch your money, your business, your life, the big impact you're having in the world change forever. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. And to celebrate the launch of the show, I'm going to be giving away 5 popular business and money books, including my book, The 1K Investor, Simple, Smart Steps to Start Investing with $1,000 or Less. I'll be awarding 5 lucky listeners who follow, rate, and review the show. It doesn't have to be a 5-star review, although I sure hope you love the show. I want your honest feedback so I can create an awesome show that provides tons of value. So go visit masteringmoneyinmidlife.com/podcast launch to learn more about the contest and how to enter. I'll be announcing the winners on the show in an upcoming episode. Thank you and bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Mastering Money in Midlife. If you want more information on Debbie Sasson or the resources from the podcast, visit masteringmoneyinmidlife.com.